You got placed in the category of the invisible, exhausted achiever, or I call them the pusher. And this is a place where you have been doing all the right things. You have been improving yourself, trying to make yourself better, and you're extremely diligent. You're a hard worker. And I say this playfully, but congratulations, you've just created a life that you have to push really hard for. And maybe you're going to have to continue pushing really hard for it. And also, maybe because you've been pushing so hard, you've finally hit the wall. There's two places with this one. This one is there's a lot here because what you've been doing, the world says is the best. And so slowing down and doing anything different feels like you'd be lazy or feels like you would be doing the wrong thing. Slowing down is a sin. And what this does is it slowly, it just depends upon what category you fall in. It either slowly or very rapidly depletes your nervous system. It exhausts your resources. And this can show up like you just start to simply forget things. You start to slowly lose motivation. You're starting to burn out, but you can always seem to muster some way to get more energy to achieve those goals. Now, what this does is it can cause hormone disruption, and it can cause gut issues, and a really, really big one. And this transitions out of the physical realm, but it starts to show up in your relationships. And it starts to show up as resentment because you are the one who's pushing. You're the leader, you're giving it all, you're doing it all, and you're constantly giving your hardest. And so when somebody doesn't do that, when somebody lets you down, when somebody isn't on top of things, resentment starts to swell up inside of you. And this can make it really, really hard to sustain relationships. Now, you guys are actually one of the most stubborn and hardest to work through when it comes to actually letting yourself slow down because, like I said, you have been fed that improvement is the better route. And I'm not saying that it's the wrong route. I'm just saying that you've been told that if you just improve this, if you just do that, that this pattern can change in your life or you can hit this goal. Because maybe you're somebody who's really good at hitting certain goals and then other ones it's just like you can't seem to get them. So when it comes to the expectation exercise that I give you, and there's a video that goes into all the details of it, but I like to give you the place to start right here because this is the identity or category you got locked into. Remember that this is just a starting point. This is not an always, you're not always locked into this identity. It can shift and it can change. So remember, this is just where you're at right now. So where I would have you start if I was working with you is I would say start with looking at the benefit of absolute stillness. And I'll go ahead and give you the first round is looking at the benefit of just stopping and being still. Is that everything that you've done, everything that you've worked for finally gets a chance to catch up with you. It finally gets a chance to be there with you. And because you've been go, 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 you haven't had the opportunity to slow down and just recognize how much you've actually accomplished. What that will also do, that stillness will also do, it will allow you to see how much you actually have. And that stillness will actually allow you to see that all that you have, what you want more of. And then it hones in that really great strategy that you've developed that is shown in this pattern. It hones it in and it will shoot it towards those things that are aligned with you. And so then your grind is aligned. It's not all over the place and your resources are not getting wasted. The benefit of, we just did the benefit of stillness. So the drawback of continuing go, go, go is you might be creating a life that is not aligned for you, that deep down you don't actually want it, or deep down you think you don't want it. And so you're never getting the time to process. You're never getting the time to see what you've actually accomplished. And so your nervous system feels like, I need to accomplish more. There's a go, go, go. And you start to run off of hormones that are expensive. And eventually you destroy the body that is working so hard for you. I want to present this perspective to you because you're going to go do this exercise, hopefully, because it's very life-changing. But I want you to look at this. Cancer is also growth-oriented. To have health, it's an equal balance of death and growth. And oftentimes, when you're put in this, when you have this strategy, when you've been put into this identity and this category, I don't like to identify you with things, but when you've been put into this category, you're so growth oriented that nothing can be destroyed, and it's sucking out all of your resources. So I look forward to hearing how this expectation exercise changes your life.